Hey, in this video, I'm going to break down for you a very simple high-level strategy and show you what it takes to go from 0 to 1 million a year selling digital products, such as courses, ebooks, memberships, stuff like that, information-based products. Real quick, if you don't know me, my name is Connor Boyland. I am a seven-figure copywriter and marketer. I scaled my first company to over 1 million a year in the men's dating advice niche, and I'm no longer with that business. I now teach AI and marketing training for people like you, experts, coaches, course creators, anyone who has some valuable knowledge and life experience who wants to turn that into a business where you help people and you get paid really well for it. It is absolutely possible to make over $1 million a year in this business. And I'm going to show you in this video what that looks like and the path to get there from where you are now using AI as a creative co-pilot. This is something that I'm really excited to share. It's something I've been doing in my own business for the past year, using AI to create all of your marketing assets and help you do all of the mental heavy lifting that it takes to be good at this business. So this training will be about 40 minutes. And when you're done, I'd like to invite you to try my custom AI bot, which you'll find below this video. And totally free, it's my gift to you. I have programmed that bot with the information you'll find in this training. And you'll be able to take that and just talk to it, and it will interview you as if it were me and ask you a bunch of questions as if I were interviewing you as a coaching client. And I normally charge $10,000 for a coaching engagement, and I used to charge $1,000 just for a 1 hour phone call where I would interview people and help them come up with their offer and their marketing strategy. I want you to have that now for free. It's my gift to you, and I hope that it gives you clarity on how to take all of the knowledge that's in your head and get it out there into the world and package it into a product that people would buy and a brand that they would follow and a marketing message that they would listen to. And this is really step one. And I want to walk you through the path from 0 to 1 million. And I want to cut through some of the hype and myths that surround this business and just show you in plain English how it actually works. So if you're anything like me, when you first start learning something new, like how to sell digital products, it can be overwhelming. There's so much going on. And overwhelm is a killer of dreams. It will slow you down. It will cause you to go all over the place. And what I'd like to do in this video is answer the questions that I always ask myself when I first start down a new path, which is just, what do I have to build? Map it out for me. What does it look like? What are the pieces? How do they fit together? What am I actually building here? Number two, what should I be focused on right now from where I am? And what should I be ignoring? Equally as important. And number three, how long will it take me to reach my goals? I'm going to show you the path from 0 to 1 million a year. But maybe you're just starting out and that sounds so overwhelming, and like maybe that's a dream one day, but maybe you just want to make 10 grand a month or 20 grand a month. I want you to know realistically from where you are now, what's it going to take and how long will it take for you to actually hit that goal? And as I was mapping out this training, I realized there's not just one answer to that question. There's actually 4 answers to how long is this going to take me. And I'm going to give you all 4 answers by the end of this training. And in my opinion, you really need to stick around to the end and hear number 1 because it's the only real answer. It's the most important. So let's dive in and just unpack all of this. First things first, what am I building? Well, if you want to be in the digital product business, it may look complicated from the outside and as a beginner if you don't know what you're doing, and every business has their own unique style. There's really no one size fits all, this works for everyone. But every digital product business, every online business in general, really has the same 2 things that you're building at their core. You're building an email list and you're building one offer to sell to that list. And if you want to be focused and do things the right way the first time and learn from my mistakes and so many others, I highly suggest you read the book Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Masterson. It's a classic. It gets passed around among entrepreneurs of all kinds. It's a very famous book. If you haven't heard of it, now you have. Please go read it. But in that book, he recommends that if you're trying to grow a business, the smartest thing you can do is focus on one offer and one message and one strategy. And that's all you need to go from 0 to 1 million a year. And after that, you can branch out and add more complexity. But from 0 to 1 million, all you need is one offer, one marketing message behind that offer, and one strategy. And if you try to do more than that, or if you get, if you overcomplicate it, you're just going to move slower and not be as good. The fastest way to be good at something is to focus on one thing, not try to do too much. And I really wish I had learned that. It would have saved me years of frustration. So you're going to build a list and sell one offer to that list. As far as email list building, you're going to need email marketing service, EMS. I use ActiveCampaign and ClickFunnels for a lot of things. ActiveCampaign, in my opinion, is the best for beginners. ConvertKit is also very good. And MailerLite is a great option if you're on a budget. You can start for free. There's a million others, too many to go into here, but that's my recommendation. To build an email list, you need lead magnets. And a lead magnet is a piece of information or a resource or something small and easy to consume that's valuable to your target customer and congruent with the offer you want to sell them. And you give that away for free in order to get them onto your email list and then follow up with more marketing. You're also going to need an email welcome sequence, which means after somebody signs up and gets your lead magnet, you're going to follow up with them with an automated series of emails that introduce who you are and your marketing message and why you do what you do, and kind of sell them on opening more emails. And also the entire sequence will bring them through a process to sell them your core offer, your flagship offer, which I'll talk about next. That is something that you can create and automate, and it will run in the background and help you sell your product. And then after they go through that welcome sequence, email marketing can get pretty complex, but basically you'll need to establish some sort of weekly and monthly promotional schedule or mailing cadence that works for you. As far as your one offer, I'm going to give you some recommendations based on over 10 years in this business, and most of them just making mistakes and wishing that I could start over and do it better. Please learn from my mistakes. I highly recommend that for your one flagship digital product offer, that you have a premium like flagship course, a digital course. And I recommend you charge minimum $297, like $300. And you can go all the way up to about $3K for a digital course. Obviously, the higher in price you go, you have to be better at selling and have a stronger offer. And it also helps to have more social proof and more of a brand name and an audience. Frank Kern, for example, who's a very famous marketer who's been doing this forever, regularly sells digital courses for $3,000. But if you're just starting out, don't go below $300. And I'll tell you why. Under that price point, you're going to get lower quality customers, especially if you do the low ticket strategies, which we'll cover in a second. But also, it's going to be harder for you to make money because you don't have a big audience yet, and you're probably not good at paid advertising yet. And so you're just going to have to sell more of your course to make good money. Whereas at $300, if you make one sale per day, which is, you won't get there right away, but it's very achievable for most beginners if you focus. You're already at $9,000 a month, which is pretty exciting for a lot of beginners, and it will give you the confidence and the momentum that you need and the proof and the case studies you need to continue growing after that. Versus if you charge less, if you undercharge, or if you think that you're not good enough to charge that amount and you think that it's easier to start lower, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're making it a lot harder for yourself to make decent amount of money because you just don't have the volume that it takes to make money from a low price product. I also suggest that you view your one offer in terms of different levels of access to you, the creator. So you've got your premium course. That's going to be a flagship offer, complete solution. If I'm teaching copywriting, which is how I started, my premium course is going to be how to do copywriting for your whole business, not just for your emails, but like for your emails, for your ads, for your sales pages, crafting offers, writing ad copy, like everything related to the business and copywriting. And if I'm teaching freelance copywriters, then I might also involve like how to get clients and get paid for your work. I might also then add a coaching offer, which could be anywhere from $2,500 to all the way up to $10K or higher if you're really good, especially if it's in a business field where people make money from it. But coaching would be, here's my course on copywriting, and then also you and I are going to meet once a week, and I'm going to give you feedback on your copy and help you get better from an expert perspective and guide you personally through your journey. And then you can also add a done-for-you service element to that if you want. These are optional. And for copywriting, that would be, hey, why don't I just write the copy for you? You need copy for your business and you want to pay me? Like, I will write you a sales letter. I will write you a funnel. For context, when I was writing copy, I specialized in men's dating advice copy. That's where I grew my first 7-figure business. And other business owners in that industry would hire me to write the VSLs for their offers. And so I would write a video sales letter script for $15,000. And they would use that and go make way more than $15,000 off of it. They would use it to run ads to it and make a lot of money. And then if they also wanted an upsell to go behind it and maybe a package of ads, I'd add another 10K. So you're looking at like 25K for me to write this whole marketing asset that you can use to go make money. Every service and business is different, but just as an example, that's what I would charge. And that was also very time consuming for me. Like if I'm writing a VSL and a funnel and ads for somebody else and I really need them to make money from it, I'm gonna have to spend a lot of my time and energy. And that whole thing would take me like a couple of weeks, maybe an entire month, because I'm gonna be going back and forth with the client and making sure they're happy. So that's very time consuming, but also it has the highest degree of certainty that the client will get a result because they don't have to do anything. They just pay you and they get the result. Whereas if they're buying your course, you make the course and then deliver it, and it's no extra time for you to deliver the course, which is why they're so scalable. But the person buying it, there's way less likelihood that they're going to succeed because they have to do everything themselves and they don't get access to you helping them. And then in between there, you have coaching offers, and you could also have a group or a membership offer where people can pay a monthly fee to be in a community with other people like them. And I actually have a group like that now. I'll drop a link below this video if you're watching this outside of the group and you want to join. But you can add these different things, but the way I see it, it's all still the same offer. You're delivering the same result to the same target customer. You're just adding different levels of access to you and different levels of service that you can provide to that customer. And really, I just want you to be aware that you can do this. Like I take on coaching clients sometimes if I need a cash injection or like some income. I don't do done for you service anymore at all because it takes my attention away from building my business. But these are different ways that you can earn money in the same business with the same offer. And it's good to have these in your awareness and to have them in your toolkit. Finally, if you're here watching me, chances are you may be wondering, well, what about low ticket offers? You know, a lot of people know me because they bought a product of mine that was $37 or $7, something low ticket, like the mini course launch kit, which is a product I sell. You know, a lot of beginners want to start there because they think, well, if it's a cheaper price, it'll be easier for me to sell. And I'm not that good. I'm a beginner. I'm not that valuable. Limiting belief. We'll talk about that in a second. But because of those limiting beliefs and the inexperience, they gravitate to the low ticket offers because they think that they're going to be easier. And the truth is it's actually the opposite. Selling a cheap product, and the way that those are designed to work is that you run ads to them to cold traffic, strangers. You're selling a cheap product to strangers who don't know you yet. They haven't gotten on your list. You haven't been able to influence them and like bring them into your world and build rapport and goodwill with them. And so you just have to be way better at selling. It's harder to do that as a beginner. You got to be great at copywriting. You have to have a very strong offer. You have to be willing to spend money on ads, which I'll get to next. And you're going to need a large volume. You're going to need to sell like 50 to 100 of those a day to make good money. It's hard for a beginner to do that. It really is much better when you have access to a large audience, either through a large list or social media following, an affiliate with a large list, or you just have a budget to buy ads and get it in front of a lot of people. So let's talk about the next question on our list, which is like, how long is this going to take? I understand I need to build a list and then sell an offer to that list. I have an idea of, you know, what those offers are going to be priced at and how to deliver them. How long will it take me to reach my goal of 10K a month, 50K, you know, 83K a month, which multiplied by 12 is $1 million a year? There are three different answers. This is my first answer to the how long will it take question. And there's three speeds that you can grow at. There's the easy way that's slow. There's the medium difficulty way that's faster. And there's the hardest way, which is also the fastest. So easy and slow is organic list building. And this is for you if you have an ad budget of under $1,000, which means if you spent $1,000 on ads right now and you didn't make it back right away and it was just gone, could you handle that, or would it break you financially? Would that freak you out? If your answer is no, I do not want that to happen, then don't start with ads. Start with organic list building, which is where you're going to be putting out organic content on free social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Those are the three I recommend. You could do Facebook as well. And really it's going to be short form video like Reels on Instagram or TikTok, or long form video on YouTube like this video is long, you know. The medium but faster way is if you have an ad budget of at least $1,000, like you're okay spending $1,000 if you know you won't make it back right away. There's no guarantee you're going to make it back yet, but you're willing to bet that and risk it to grow your business faster. If that's you and you have what I call a warm offer, you want to do paid list building, which is where you're going to run ads to a lead magnet that people will take for free to get on your list. And then you will follow up with them with your email welcome sequence to sell your offer. And there will be a window of time between you spending money on ads and you making the money back by selling your offer. And you'll need to calculate your return on investment over that time. What do I mean by warm offer? What I mean is, if you are selling something that requires a little bit of explanation in order for people to value it, for example, any personal development offer, anything that is not immediately tied to the most gratifying and core human desires like money, sex, status, safety, health, something that's very lizard-brained, that would be more appropriate for a cold traffic offer. If they can't immediately see that they're going to make money from it or get a better body or a better relationship from it, or if there's just, if there's no inbuilt demand for it. Cold traffic offers have existing demand. Everybody already wants this, and you're just putting an offer in front of them and saying, here's that thing that you wanted. And they're buying the offer because it's so desirable to them, not because of you. If your offer depends on them liking you and getting to know you first, it's more of a warm offer, and you're going to want to put them on your list first and warm them up and bring them into your world and indoctrinate them to your marketing message, and then sell your offer, and you'll do way better. And by the way, when you have an organic audience or warm email list, it is much, much easier to sell whatever you want to sell. Selling to strangers, cold traffic, is much harder, and you have to fit your offer into a very specific package that is hyper desirable, and to a lot of people can sound very aggressive and in your face and clickbaity. And so make sure you're comfortable with that, because that's path number 3. The hardest path, but also the fastest, is low ticket list building. And this is if you have at least $1,000 to invest in ads and you have a cold traffic, hyper desirable, lizard brained offer that's like, they see it and they're like, I'm going to go viral tomorrow. I'm going to make money from this. I'm going to get a better body or get in shape from this. I'm going to find a girlfriend or find the love of my life. Or it could be something that they're passionate about that they already are looking to learn, like music, dance, photography, like a skill or a passion that people want to learn. The point is, there has to be proven existing demand for this exact thing, and you're just riding the wave of demand that's already there. That strategy is low ticket list building, which is where instead of spending money on ads and then putting them on your list and making money over time, you're condensing that into day one, and you're spending money on ads, sending to a low ticket offer that is designed to make you money on day one. And we call those, another term for those is self-liquidating offers, because the goal of the offer is to liquidate your ad cost. So if you're spending $100 a day on ads and you make $100 back, now you're building a customer list for free. And that is the fastest way to grow a business. It's also the hardest. I just want you to understand where low ticket really belongs in a business like this, because when I got started, I fell for the same lie that a lot of people do, which is, well, screw this organic list building stuff. That sounds really slow. I don't want to post content all day long. I don't give a shit about that. I just want to make money. And if you can spend money on ads and then instantly make it back and turn $100 into $200, like, why would you not want to learn that? Like, I'll do that instead. And I did do that, and I got very good at it. And so is it possible to, run a low ticket offer and spend $100 on ads and make $200 back the same day? Yes, that's possible. Is it something that my clients can do successfully after I've taught them? Yes, it is. Is it easy or fast to learn? No, it's not. Is it something I recommend for beginners who don't have any marketing experience? No, unless you're willing to really put your head down and learn. I just don't want you to fall for the lie that that's going to be easy. And I also want you to know, no matter what happens with your low ticket offer, those offers have a lifespan. They die. They don't last forever. I also fell for this lie when I first started in business, where I thought, and a lot of people market this to you. You'll see this everywhere. If you see this, just remember I told you, okay? People will say, look, if you could turn $100 into 200, then you'll never have to worry about money again. You're set for life. And I believed that. And the truth is, yeah, you can run ads and convert cold traffic and make money from it. But that doesn't mean that you're just set for life. You can't just build that offer and then it will just work forever. And I thought that it would. I thought, hey, if you can get going and have an offer that works and you're making 10 grand a month, well, now you have a 10 grand a month business. And then you can build on top of that and you're good. But the truth is, anything you run on paid traffic has a lifespan. As soon as you launch it, people will start to see you doing it. They will compete with you. Your costs will start rising over time. And the real way to succeed with any paid traffic part of your business is that you got to stay on top of it and continually keep testing new ad creatives and split testing your landing pages. And you have to constantly refresh your marketing if you don't want the offer to die. And if you don't, with a good offer, you might get 6 months out of it, and then it will die and you'll start losing money. And if you want to really extend that lifespan, maybe to 1 or 2 years, you better be good at ad testing and like really optimizing. And I'll tell you, it was a very infuriating and frustrating experience for me to learn this lesson. And I'm hoping you can learn this now and learn from my mistakes. It really sucks to spend a lot of time and effort building something and making it work, and then trusting that you can rely on it and moving on. And then the thing that you built that used to work just stops working and falls apart. It fucking sucks. Okay. And organic list building, that doesn't happen. If you keep building an organic audience, it will snowball and keep growing for you. If you maintain a good email list, that is a lifeline of your business. You're not going to lose that tomorrow. Depending on running ads for your income without the list and the offer behind it, that'll work for as long as it works. But when it stops working, you're going to have nothing. And a lot of people have fallen for this trap and been run out of business, or just like fall in a hole because they were making so much money from paid ads and then it stopped working and they didn't understand why. So just know, if you're running ads to anything, it doesn't last forever. You have to stay on top of it and keep refreshing it. So really quick, let's go through the 3 paths. If you take organic only, this is the easiest difficulty and relatively the slowest speed, unless you hit the viral jackpot and you get a viral video. So what do you focus on? What are your daily tasks? Where should your energy go? Well, you want to focus on one organic channel. You don't want to try and do YouTube and TikTok and Instagram all at the same time. You won't be good at any of them. Pick one and pick one type of content. So the 2 main types that I suggest you focus on are short or long form video. The entire internet is video. Don't think that you're going to build a whole business without having to get on video somehow. I mean, you can, but you're making it harder for yourself. You want to pick one channel and one type. So if you do short form video, that's going to be TikTok or Instagram. I prefer Instagram because you can run ads there. It's much easier to run ads on the Meta platform and get people onto your list later if you want to expand into ads. TikTok ads are a little more tricky, but you'll get more organic reach immediately on TikTok. You will grow faster. And for long form video, YouTube is the way to go. And that is a great place for information products because you can make long videos like the one I'm making now. And if you're qualified to learn from me and you might want to buy from me later, you'll watch this video and learn. And I'm able to give you a lot of value and we're able to go deep on something. And the longer somebody spends with you, the more they'll trust you and want to buy from you later. And it allows you to create a lot of goodwill with a lot of people. Also on YouTube, the videos that you post will last for a long time. If I post a good video today and I keep up with it, a year from now, that video could still be pulling in new traffic for me and new people will be finding me from that video. If I post a really good video on Instagram, it's dead tomorrow or in a couple of days. So it's a different strategy. If you do short form, you got to get good at making these little bite-sized pieces of content and keeping up with it and systemizing it. And that's how you grow. And the whole point of organic content is that your content gives away a lead magnet at some point. I'll probably have a lead magnet for you below this video. And you take the lead magnet to get them onto your email list, you build from there and you sell your offer. If you do organic, focus on one channel. If you want to do reels, get on Instagram and focus there, and then get a software that can repurpose that content to every other platform automatically. Repurpose.io is a good one. That way you can be on multiple channels without having to pay attention to multiple channels. What you want to ignore at this stage, paid ads, obviously, you don't have the budget for it, and multiple channels manually. Just focus on one. The second path, paid list building. This is medium difficulty, medium speed. You're going to want to focus on testing lots of lead magnets, running ads and testing ads to those lead magnets, optimizing your opt-in funnel, which is add to opt-in through the opt-in sequence to sell your offer, and tracking an ROI. What do you want to ignore? Low ticket offers and advanced ad strategies. Just keep it simple. And then finally, the low ticket side, which I told you about. Hardest difficulty, but the fastest speed to grow when you get it right. You're going to be focused exclusively on cold traffic conversion, which is a different style of marketing than warm list building. It's just different. You got to be more aggressive and more you have to pay way closer attention to detail to convert cold traffic, and you got to have a stronger offer and be a way better copywriter. You want to focus on low ticket funnel design and the economics that go into a funnel like that and how it makes a profit from the initial sale. There'll be order bumps, upsells, downsells. Like, you want to be tracking your average order value, comparing that to your cost to acquire a customer. There's data tracking involved, campaign optimization, and most of that game is about continually testing ad creatives to stay ahead of that curve, because your offer is always going to go up, and then everything you build will slowly start dying, and you have to stay ahead of that curve by continually testing new stuff all the time. You want to ignore organic content if you focus on that path, because you just can't do both of them at once and be good at it. Now, whatever path you choose out of those three, there are a few things you should always be focused on. One is offer creation, which is being able to actually formulate an offer that is valuable to your target customer and have a strong message that matches what they want and what they listen to. And there's a science to that, which I can teach you. And then offer evolution, which means after you launch your offer, you don't just leave it. It's not just done. It's an evolving, living thing. And you launch it, and then as you grow and evolve as an entrepreneur and learn more about your audience and you get better at marketing, you also improve the offer over time. And that way you're still growing with that one offer, but that one offer is getting better and better. You always want to focus on giving value up front, whatever you do in your organic content or your emails. You can't just pitch and sell every day. If you do that, then people will get turned off and stop listening to you, and then you don't have a business anymore. That strategy is called churn and burn. That's how I started. Just get them on the list, sell, and they'll burn out in a month, and that's it. If you want longevity and you really want to grow, you need to be able to have an audience that trusts you long term and keeps listening to you. And if you sell every day, then you'll burn them. And so the strategy here is to give value up front and then ask for the sale after. And you can sell every day. I usually do, at least in a soft pitch. But you got to earn the right to sell people every day by giving them something valuable first. And there's a lot of ways to do that, which I'll teach you down the road. Always be focused on copywriting and getting better at copywriting. That's the number one thing in this business. And you can use AI now to help you do it. But AI is it's like a calculator to do math. You know, it doesn't solve the problem for you. It just does it faster and better. So you can use AI to write copy, but you still got to know what good copy looks like, and I can help you with that. Always keep building your list. The bigger your list gets, the easier it is to make money, period. And you always want to be focused on marketing systems that leverage your time. Okay, that was a lot. At this point, and this is really just me talking to my past self here, I would be saying, all right, cool, but seriously, how long will it take me to start making good money from this? You know, like, I understand there's different speeds that you can grow at. I kind of understand the best path for me right now, but like, once I take that path, how long until 10K a month? How long until 50? Like, how do I get there? And realistically, are we talking a month or a year? Like, what's that going to be? And this is where I have another answer for you. This is my second answer to the question, how long is this going to take? And that depends on your willingness to be under pressure, your level of professionalism, being able to remove the things that slow you down, and being able to enhance the things that speed you up. And primarily, the thing that speeds you up right now is your ability to use AI. And I'm going to teach you about all that right now. So let's dive into each one of these. This is more of a mindset lesson for you, which I really wish I had at the start, honestly. It took me a lot of years of pain and struggle to get this. So lesson number one, pressure. There's a very famous entrepreneur named Jesse Itzler, and I saw him speak at a conference once. And he said something that stuck with me forever. He said, pressure is a privilege. And what that means is, as an entrepreneur, an ambitious person who wants to create and you don't want it to take forever, you need to be able to put some pressure on yourself in a positive way. It's a good thing. You should not shy away from it. Things tend to take as long as you decide they will take. And if you say, I'm launching my offer by the end of this month, date on the calendar, it is freaking happening by that day. If you say that, you will step up to a higher level. And what I want you to know is that every entrepreneur has a higher gear mentally that you can access and you can shift into. And in that higher gear, you are more productive, you're more focused, you're more creative, you're able to think at a higher level and produce things better and faster than you currently are. And I refer to that as rampage mode. It's a term that my friend Nico came up with, and I'll tell you a story about him another time. But rampage mode really, it's kind of a dormant state for most of us, and it doesn't come out all the time. It's actually only activated when you are under pressure. And there's two kinds of pressure. There's forced and there's voluntary. And I hope you choose the voluntary one, because if you don't, forced pressure is, I'm running out of money. My back's against the wall. I got to live. I don't have any money and I need to sell my products and make something work. That's forced pressure. And I've been there before, and I'll tell you, it sucks. But also, I learned from that experience that being under pressure is kind of a thrill. It feels really good at the same time, where you're not comfortable, but suddenly your brain operates at a higher level than it ever did before, and you're producing work that you thought you couldn't. And it's much better to do that when you don't absolutely have to survive. And so I think every entrepreneur should learn how to turn on that rampage mode, higher gear. And the best way to do that voluntarily without going broke or being terrified is to set aggressive deadlines for yourself and take them seriously and hold yourself to them. And so all of my best clients that I teach, copywriting and digital product sales to, they all launch in under a month. It's a clear pattern I've noticed after a year and a half of teaching this. The best clients who have success have always launched in under a month. And I have a rule for myself: when I launch something new, I will not let it take longer than 2 weeks, period. And I will rework my entire life and my entire schedule to make sure it does not take longer than 2 weeks, because I want to access that higher level. And also, I just don't want to take forever. Like, if you're here to make money, right? Well, the sooner you launch your offer, the sooner you can start making money. And even though that sounds obvious, I've been doing this for a year and a half now, teaching this to people. And you wouldn't believe the amount of excuses people make to not freaking launch their offer. And I really want to address that, because this is probably the biggest thing that's going to hold you back, is just not understanding your own excuses or procrastination and allowing that to happen. If you tolerate procrastination, you're going to stay broke. Like, you cannot tolerate that from yourself. You have to take this seriously. And so that actually brings me to the next part, which is your level of professionalism. Very good book on this topic. I recommend a lot of books. You really should read more. It'll help you. But a really good book on this topic is called The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. It's a kind of a clever twist on words from The Art of War. But in that book, he talks about every ambitious person who wants to create anything. Entrepreneurs, artists, musicians, writers, anyone who has something to create. You will always have to deal with this, and you need to learn it now. There are amateurs and there are professionals. Amateurs only work when they feel inspired. Professionals work when they say they will work. I have a calendar that I go by, and every day it has times where I'm set to work and things I committed to working on, and I don't miss. I show up and I do the work I said I would do. Doesn't matter how I feel that day. It doesn't matter if I feel inspired. My butt is in this chair and I'm doing the work I committed to doing. That's professionalism. Amateurs avoid discomfort. Professionals lean into it. They know it's there for their highest good and growth. Amateurs succumb to resistance. And the whole book, The War of Art, is about resistance. Resistance is the internal sensation that you feel when you want to create something or you want to do anything that's important to you, and it suddenly feels really hard and it's not easy and you're not motivated to do it. And your brain is like, I don't want to. That's resistance. And if you have ambitions and goals, you will always have to move through resistance in order to achieve the goal. You don't get to escape that. And every successful person has it. You just deal with it. Amateurs succumb to resistance. They let it win. They procrastinate. Professionals go to war with their resistance every day, and they're serious about winning. Amateurs want things. Professionals commit to having things. When I first started in this business, I was definitely an amateur, and I dirtled around for a couple of years saying that I wanted success, but not doing what it actually took to create success. And eventually I just got sick of my own bullshit. And I got sick of not having the things I wanted to have and watching other people get them, even though those people were just as smart as me, if not probably dumber. And so I committed, and I remember the day it happened, because my entire internal state shifted. And instead of feeling confused about my future, I was suddenly extremely sure of myself, even though I was still broke at the time. And I just had this killer instinct come out of me. And I want you to know what that feels like, and it comes from commitment. And commitment is a decision. It's not an accident. You don't just accidentally fall into a commitment. You decide, I am going to make success. I'm going to create success in this business. I'm going to launch my offer and build my list and do the things that Connor's telling me. I'm going to learn what it takes, and I'm going to show up and do it. And I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm willing to rearrange my life around it. I'm willing to make sacrifices and give up other things that don't move me closer to that. That's commitment. And when you have it, you know, because you'll feel completely different. If you want to get there faster, you really want to remove the things that slow you down. And so let me list what they are. Digital distraction is a huge one for all of us who work on the internet. Being distracted by social media. I use social media intentionally for research and for posting content, but I don't want to get sucked in and just start consuming. Dopamine drain. So digital things are one, like anything on a screen. Your cell phone is a device designed by psychologists and engineers in Silicon Valley to make you addicted to it and extract your dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical that makes you motivated to do things. It's the thing that makes you feel good and positive and optimistic. And if you have a hard time getting motivated or working on the things you say you will, it's probably because your dopamine is being sucked out of you by all kinds of energy vampires around you. And I'll give you a list of what they are. It's really anything that gives you instant gratification for no effort. So social media is a big one for all of us. Anything that just gives you pleasure for nothing, like alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, sugar is a big one. Gambling, shopping. For me, honestly, and for most of us, a huge source of dopamine drain is caffeine. I'm still breaking my addiction to caffeine. That's a big one. So anything that you would consider to be a vice that makes you feel good when you do it and then makes you feel bad afterwards, that's dopamine drain. And if you can eliminate those things, you will be more motivated and you will move faster towards your goals. Limiting beliefs slow all of us down. And if you can identify them and start to shift them, you'll move faster. So if you heard me say that you should launch a $297 course and build your business around it, and you thought, that's too much, I can't charge that much, like I'm not worth that much, that's a limiting belief. Write it down and start shifting it. If you think, 0 to 1 million or using AI, that sounds hard, like I can never do that, limiting belief. Anything that you say to yourself internally and automatically that doesn't empower you to reach your goals, you want to identify what that is and start shifting it. Perfectionism is a big thing that slows everyone down, which is really just fear. It's a form of fear. Perfectionism says, I can't launch this offer yet because it's not good enough, so I have to keep working on it and making it perfect. When the truth is, nothing could ever be perfect. That's a lie. That's an imaginary idea. And if you want your offer to be good, it needs to exist first and it needs to be launched, and you need to get real feedback from your market, from your customers. That's what actually makes your offer better, not constantly working on it more and more. Perfectionism is just your brain saying, I'm scared to look stupid and I'm scared of rejection and failure. And so as long as I keep working on it and not launching it, then I don't have to face that fear. So be aware of that. Shiny objects. This means if you've committed to a certain path and then there are other things out there trying to take you off that path, those are shiny objects. If you're serious about launching digital products and then you start watching videos and listening to people who tell you like, no, you've got to do AI automations. That's the move. No, you've got to do Shopify drop shipping. That's the move. Like, those are shiny objects. Commit to this path. And as soon as you commit to a path, shiny objects will show up to try and test your commitment and throw you off of it. And we all have to deal with that. Shiny objects are just anything that you haven't committed to that sound good, but ultimately they're just taking you off the path that you said you would do and slowing you down. And then finally, this was a huge one for me, being in the gap. This is a mental state. And another book you should read, The Gap and the Gain. Basically, there's two states you can be in at any given time, the gap or the gain. The gap means you are here on a timeline and your goal is here. And there's a gap, there's a distance between where you are and where you want to be. And you judge yourself negatively based on the fact that you're not there yet. That's the gap. This is when you say, I'm not as far along as I should be. A lot of entrepreneurs say this one. I should be there by now. Like, I thought I would have this result by now, or like I suck. Anything that you do to beat yourself up for not reaching your goals yet, that's you in the gap, just feeling like you're not good enough because you're not there. And it's a very insidious trap, because if you're here and your goal is there, even if you reach your goal, the very next thing you're going to do is make a new goal and then make yourself feel bad that you're not there yet. And so the gap is just constantly you judging yourself for not being in the future yet, which is impossible. You can only be right here. And so The actual only real way to judge your success and the way that will speed you up instead of slowing you down is being in the gain. So you're here and you want to be here, and that's the gap. Well, you're here and you used to be here. This is the gain. The gain is you judging yourself positively based on how far you've already come. And the cool thing is, the gain is real. The gap is imaginary. The future is just an idea. You're not there yet. And so you're basically, when you're in the gap, you're saying, I suck based on an imaginary idea of what I don't have yet. When you're in the gain, you're saying, I'm good because of some real shit that I've actually done. And I'm focused on being proud of what I've already accomplished and how far I've already come. And if you can just remember that, I mean, as soon as I started doing this, I became a happier person and I became more successful. It's just an instant switch that you can flip at any time. More things that speed you up: deep work and focus every day. You really want to prioritize that and make it, I block out at least 4-hour chunks of work every day where my phone is off, no interruptions. I'm in my office and I'm just working on the most important thing for the day. Deep, focused work on one thing. Empowering beliefs. You got to sell yourself on your goals and really believe that you can hit them. And you got to learn to do it in a way that feels true. If you've never made $1 million before and you say, I can make $1 million, that's going to sound like a lie to you. But if you said, I've never made $1 million before, but other people have, and I'm learning from them, and they're not different from me. And I know I could do this if I focused and tried, and I want to find out. Like, that's a more empowering belief. I am in the process of learning how to make $1 million. That's an empowering belief that you can believe in and take seriously. So that's a skill to really coach yourself into beliefs that make you feel better and move you along faster. So you're not resisting yourself mentally as you go through the process of doing your work. And then finally, community, which is being around other like-minded people on the same level as you who are committed to the same things and knowing that you're not alone. Mentorship, being guided by someone who's ahead of you on the path and can show you a lot of the mistakes to avoid and believe in you. I am where I am because I had mentors who believed in me and showed me what to do and made me believe that I could do it. And finally, best of all, if you're here listening to me, what speeds you up? Artificial intelligence. That is what we are really here to talk about today on all of my channels, on my list, in my group, in my products. How do we use AI to do this business faster and better? Because, if you're still here watching, you've probably realized by now that being successful in this business requires a lot of brain power. It's mentally taxing to do this kind of work. You're a knowledge worker. You use your brain to create stuff and put it into the world, to create value for other people and then sell it to them. You have skills to learn. You have things to create. All of that requires that you use your human brain, which is an interesting thing. A human brain is, it's smart enough to build rockets and do multivariable calculus. And it's also dumb enough to forget why it walked into a room, or silly enough to get hypnotized by notification dots on your phone and lose hours and wonder what happened, like a freaking gnat going towards a light. Your brain is very flawed and very powerful in just interesting ways. An artificially intelligent brain doesn't have those problems. And it can hold information for you, and it can help you with the mental heavy lifting that is required to succeed in this business. And so I like to say a human-run business can only ever run at human speed. And that is simply not true anymore, because now we have an artificial intelligence that can help us. And the way that I see AI in the digital marketing business is that I use it as a creative co-pilot. It is a second brain. It's there to help me do the mental work of the business and to produce. And I view it and I personify it as this little guy right here. That's my buddy. That's my robot sidekick. That's how I view it. And it's fun for me, and it makes me excited to work every day. But how does this work, really? Now that you know the things that are required to be good at this business, how is AI going to help you move faster? Well, it can extract all of your ideas and help you formulate them into that one offer that you're going to sell and the one marketing message that you need to make it resonate with your target audience. It can help you to create all of the marketing assets that I just showed you that you need to build in order to make this money. So your organic content, lead magnets, emails, sales pages, your ads, and it can help you to do all of that in a unified voice and style that is authentic to you. Don't listen when people say that AI is fake or robotic. That just means they don't know how to use it. I'm going to show you how to use it in a way that is authentic, in a way that actually captures what's going on in you and your personality and turns that into something that you've been hoping you could create and maybe you thought you could, but you just can't find the words. AI can help you find the words and show you the ultimate vision that you may have in your mind, but you don't know how to make it on your own. AI can help systemize your workflow. It can help save you time, automating tedious tasks in your business so that you don't have to do them all the time, or you don't have to hire someone to do it for you. And it can help you to learn and evolve as an entrepreneur so much faster. So, all of that together, here we are towards the end, and I'm going to answer for a third time, how long will it take you to reach your goals? If you choose one path and commit to it, with one offer and one message and one strategy and one path for growth, if you learn to create positive pressure on yourself and embrace it and not avoid it, if you show up as a professional, and if you learn to use AI to help you do your work, you can realistically launch that offer in the next 2 to 4 weeks. And I told you, all of my best clients launched in under a month. You can realistically hit 10K in the next 2 months and hit 7 figures in 12 to 18 months. Some of you will do it longer. Some of you may do it faster than that, but that is a realistic expectation if you take all of my advice into account. However, I want to acknowledge everybody's path is different. We all have different skills and backgrounds, and no two people are the same. Business is always harder than you think it's going to be at first. It does get easier as you build skills and experience, but it will be harder before it gets easier, and I just expect that now. And finally, you don't ever want to use your goals against yourself. And what I mean by that is, if you set a goal that you're going to make 10K in the next 2 months and then you don't make it, you'd never want to use that to beat yourself up or slow yourself down and say, well, I couldn't make it, so I'm not good enough. I'm a piece of shit. I suck. You know, there's failing at your goals and then there's being a failure, and you're never being a failure. You're just in the process of learning and growing. And so your goals are there to pull you forward and commit, give you a direction to commit to, but don't ever use them against yourself. It doesn't serve you and it only slows you down. I promise you, as long as you stay focused on the path and you keep producing, you don't just stay in your head thinking about it. You actually produce the offer and the ads and the lead magnets and the email sequences, and you actually put your work in the world, you will get there. It is only a matter of time. Which brings us to the final answer. I told you there were 4 answers to the question, how long will it really take you to reach your goals? How long does it take to get to 1 million? How long does it take to get to 10 grand a month? Whatever it is your goal. And in my opinion, there's actually just one answer to that question, and it's the only answer that matters. And the answer is this. How long will it take you? If you are truly committed, like really committed, and you know you are, you would never ask that question. It wouldn't even occur to you to ask how long will it take, because you know it takes as long as it fucking has to. And every second that you spend thinking about it and deliberating and asking, oh, is this going to be hard? How long will it take? That's another second you could have spent just working on it and getting going. And so with that in mind, let's get you started right now. I have an assignment for you. This is your AI intake interview. And below this video, you're going to find a link to my custom ChatGPT bot that I just built, Connor's AI Copilot bot, whatever its name is. And I've actually taken the entire lesson that I just gave you over the last 45 minutes and programmed the bot with that information. And when you use it, it's going to interview you and ask you a bunch of questions. You don't have to input anything. Just click the button to get started on the bot, and then it will start asking you questions, and you just talk to it and answer its questions. It's the same thing I would do with my clients when they hire me. And what it's going to do at the end is take all of your information and your answers and give you a summarized game plan, a customized pathway for you to go from 0 to 1 million a year. And especially, what do you need to focus on in the next month? In your immediate future, what's the most important thing? What kind of offers should you be selling based on your ideas and your target market and what you're thinking? What kind of growth strategy should you be using? What are the things that could slow you down or speed you up that you need to watch out for? How can you use AI to help you? Everything that we just covered, this bot is going to give you a detailed recommendation of where to get started. And I'd also like to just finish by making an invitation to you. If you'd like, You don't have to, but if you'd like, share the result of this bot interview and share your commitment in the comments below this video and let us know publicly, this is my offer. Here's my deadline. This is what I'm committed to. I'm going to launch this offer in the next month. And I don't know if how, but like, here I go. Watch me go. And there's something interesting that happens when you truly commit. And what's the phrase I'm looking for? There's a phrase that people say. They say, in the moment of commitment, the universe conspires to assist you. And I believe that's true. And what that means is when you truly commit, and this is internal, the public commitment where you share, that's more of a ceremonial thing just to represent your commitment. But the real commitment is an internal decision that you feel and that you make every day, repeatedly. But when you do that, there's a higher power that gets activated somehow in your energy field, the universe. If you're religious, you could call it God. If you are spiritual, you can call it source energy. There's a lot of names for it. The Greeks called it the muses. There's a lot of names for it, but the point is something outside of yourself recognizes your commitment and rearranges your life experience to match your commitment. It's kind of crazy. And I want you to find out what that's like, where people and places and like opportunities will start to line up for you to help you reach your goal. And the cool part is you can't predict what's going to happen. That's a surprise. It's a surprise for everyone. But when you're really committed, it actually happens. And that's what makes entrepreneurship such an adventure. And I think that's just something I wanted to share, because so many of us get so fixated on the nuts and bolts and the practical details, which I hope I've covered in great detail for you here. No hype here. This is just what it takes to make $1 million a year in the digital product business. Make an offer, build a list, relentlessly grow that list with whatever strategy works for you, and keep building your skills and getting better. Keep reducing what slows you down, enhancing what speeds you up, and really embrace AI as the opportunity that it is, the opportunity of a lifetime. In my lifetime, there has never been a greater technological advancement than AI. It's unbelievable what it can do. And I really want to encourage you to start using it and learning how to work with it, because the entrepreneurs who do that are going to own the next decade and more. Like, ride this wave, embrace it. It's here to help you. But I also wanted to cover some of the mindset and the more high level things that I've learned that have taken me a really long time, and that I wish that somebody had told me right at the beginning. So this is everything. And if you like this stuff, if you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere else, please give me a follow. Please give me a subscribe. Use the links below this video to do that AI interview. And if you're watching this in my group, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. And please post your results below so that we can all support you in growing the business and keeping you on track this month.